Ever wonder why the strongest people in the room are often the quietest? It's not because they have nothing to say, it's because they know the real power lies in what they don't share. Secrets aren't just about what others don't know. They're about the control you have over your own life. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, there's a rare strength in knowing when to stay silent. It's not just about privacy. It's about protecting your mind, your goals, and your vulnerabilities from outside influence. As the old saying goes, the more you say, the more you're giving away. What if you could master the art of keeping the most important things, your next move, your ambitions, your insecurities, locked within, where no one can sway you? Today, we'll reveal 7 powerful secrets that you should never share if you want to stay in control. Trust me, this insight could be the key to mastering your own life. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to harness the power of silence, and let's dive in. 1. Keep your future plans to yourself. The first secret you should never share is your future plans. It's tempting to talk about your dreams, your goals, and your next big moves, especially when you're excited about what's ahead. But revealing your plans too early can invite unnecessary opinions, doubt, and interference from others. When you share your ambitions prematurely, you expose them to external forces that can shape, distort, or even discourage them. People may project their own fears, insecurities, or limitations onto your dreams, leaving you questioning your path before you even begin. Keeping your plans to yourself allows you to stay focused, undistracted, and true to your own vision without being influenced by the doubts or judgments of others. Consider this. When you reveal your plans, it's as if you're allowing others to become part of your journey before it's even started. Not everyone will understand your goals or your drive, and their lack of understanding can plant seeds of doubt. By keeping your future plans private, you maintain complete control over your course. This is not about secrecy for secrecy's sake, but about protecting the purity of your ambition until you've built the momentum needed to bring it to life. Think of your plans like a delicate seed. If exposed too early, it's vulnerable to the elements, negative energy, criticism, and even envy. But if you protect it, nurture it in silence, it can grow strong and withstand anything thrown its way once it finally sees the light. Additionally, when you keep your plans to yourself, you avoid creating expectations in the minds of others. Publicly sharing your goals can create pressure to live up to those expectations, which can add unnecessary stress. By remaining silent, you protect yourself from the fear of failure in the eyes of others. You're free to experiment, adjust, or even change your path without feeling the need to explain yourself to anyone. Silence gives you the freedom to evolve your plans without judgment. You can fail in private, learn from your mistakes, and refine your approach without the added burden of meeting anyone else's expectations. Another key reason to keep your future plans private is that it allows you to maintain an element of surprise. When you share every detail of what you're planning, you lose the power of the unexpected. People can become desensitized to your ideas before you've even had a chance to execute them. But when you reveal your accomplishments only after they've taken form, they land with more impact. It's the difference between telling someone what you're going to do and showing them what you've already done. The latter is far more powerful, and it often commands respect because it shows that you don't need validation to move forward. Ultimately, the art of silence is a form of self-preservation. By keeping your plans close, you protect your energy and focus. You avoid the potential negative impact of others' opinions and allow yourself the space to work quietly, diligently, and without distraction. When you choose to speak, let your actions speak for you, fully formed, undeniable, and backed by the work you've done in private. This approach not only strengthens your resolve, but also enhances the respect others have for your achievements. Your silence becomes a powerful tool, and when the time is right, your success will speak volumes. 2. Protect your personal struggles. The second secret you should never share is your personal struggles, at least not with everyone. While it can be tempting to vent about your hardships to friends, colleagues, or even on social media, this often leaves you vulnerable in ways that can hinder your growth and healing. The truth is, not everyone will understand your struggles, and more importantly, not everyone needs to. Sharing your personal battles too freely opens the door for judgment, pity, or even unwanted advice. In many cases, the responses you receive may be more harmful than helpful, planting seeds of doubt or reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. Some people might even use your struggles against you, whether intentionally or unintentionally, making it harder for you to regain your strength and confidence. When you keep your personal struggles to yourself, or at least share them with only a trusted few, you maintain control over your narrative. Your struggles are yours to process, and by keeping them private, you allow yourself the space to work through them without external pressure. This doesn't mean bottling up your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It means being selective about whom you trust with your vulnerability. Not everyone deserves access to your most intimate battles. Protecting this part of yourself ensures that you remain resilient and can face challenges on your own terms, rather than being swayed by outside perspectives that may not align with your true needs. Another reason to keep your personal struggles private is that doing so allows you to focus on solutions rather than sympathy. When you share your hardships widely, there's often an influx of pity or sympathy, which can feel comforting at first, but ultimately distracts you from the path of resolution. Sympathy doesn't solve problems, action does. When you refrain from sharing your struggles with the world, you create a quiet, introspective space in which you can focus on finding solutions rather than seeking validation or comfort. You are less likely to become dependent on external emotional support and more likely to build internal resilience. Additionally, sharing your struggles can sometimes shift your identity in the eyes of others. People may begin to see you as the person with problems, even if that's not who you truly are. Your challenges may start to define you, and this can limit opportunities for personal and professional growth. When people associate you more with your struggles than your strengths, they may subconsciously reduce their expectations of you or assume you're not capable of handling additional responsibilities. By keeping your struggles private, you ensure that others see you for your true potential rather than as someone weighed down by difficulties. There is also a profound strength in overcoming challenges quietly. When you face struggles without broadcasting them, you develop a deep sense of inner power. The knowledge that you have faced adversity and come out the other side without seeking validation strengthens your self-confidence. You don't need external approval to validate your resilience. You know within yourself that you've handled it. When people eventually see the results of your quiet endurance, whether it's personal growth, a new achievement, or simply your unshaken composure, they'll respect you all the more for it without needing to know the full extent of what you faced. In the end, protecting your personal struggles isn't about isolation or secrecy. It's about cultivating strength from within. By being discerning about who you share your hardships with, you maintain control over your healing process and protect yourself from unnecessary judgment or interference. You allow yourself to focus on growth and solutions rather than external validation. In doing so, you strengthen your resolve and maintain an image of capability and resilience, both to yourself and to the world. Guard your financial situation. The third secret you should never share is the full extent of your financial situation. Whether you're doing exceptionally well or struggling to make ends meet, disclosing too much about your financial status can lead to unintended consequences. Money, after all, is a sensitive topic, and how much you have or don't have can change how people perceive and interact with you. Sharing your financial details, whether it's about a big windfall, a raise, or financial hardships, can invite opinions, judgments, and even envy. Keeping this information to yourself helps you maintain control over your personal and professional relationships without the influence of money changing the dynamic. When people know too much about your finances, it can alter their behavior toward you. If you're financially successful and make this known, you might start to notice people treating you differently. Some may try to take advantage of your success, whether subtly asking for favors, expecting you to cover expenses, or even feeling entitled to some of your wealth. This can create pressure on your relationships, making it difficult to know who values you for who you are versus what you have. By keeping your financial status private, you avoid these expectations and maintain more genuine interactions. Conversely, sharing financial struggles can lead to unwanted pity or judgment. When you're open about money problems, others may offer advice, often unsolicited, or even look down on you, consciously or unconsciously. This can affect your self-esteem and complicate relationships, especially when people start to see you through the lens of your financial difficulties rather than your strengths. You might also find that people's perceptions of your capabilities in the workplace shift, with others assuming you're not as competent or stable because of financial stress. Keeping your struggles private allows you to deal with them in a way that feels manageable, without the added pressure of outside perspectives that might not be helpful. Additionally, broadcasting your financial success can attract envy and resentment. Money has a way of making people act differently, and even those who are close to you can develop feelings of jealousy or competition if they feel your financial situation is better than theirs. People may start to compare their own lives to yours, creating a sense of imbalance or tension that wasn't there before. While you might not have any ill intent in sharing your financial success, it can unintentionally drive a wedge between you and others. Keeping your financial gains private helps to maintain harmony in your relationships and avoids the risk of sparking unnecessary envy. Another reason to keep your financial situation private is that it protects your peace of mind. Once people know how much you have, there's often an unspoken expectation that you'll live up to certain standards, whether that's maintaining a particular lifestyle, donating to causes, or helping others financially. This can create an added layer of stress and obligation, particularly if you're still figuring out how to manage your money or if you prefer to live modestly despite your wealth. By guarding your financial details, you give yourself the freedom to handle your money on your own terms, without external pressures influencing your choices. In conclusion, guarding your financial situation allows you to maintain autonomy over your personal and professional life. Whether you're experiencing success or hardship, keeping your finances private ensures that your relationships remain grounded in authenticity, free from the influence of money. It also shields you from unnecessary judgment, expectations, or envy, allowing you to navigate your financial journey in peace. Money should never define you or your relationships. By keeping it private, you ensure that your interactions are based on mutual respect and genuine connection, rather than being shaped by financial status. 4. Keep your romantic relationships private. The fourth secret you should never share too freely is the intimate details of your romantic relationships. While it can be tempting to talk about your relationship, whether it's going well or facing challenges, there's real wisdom in keeping certain aspects of your romantic life private. Sharing too much about your relationship dynamics can invite outside influence, unwanted advice, and even judgment that can negatively affect the connection you have with your partner. By keeping your relationship more private, you preserve its sanctity, creating a space where you and your partner can grow without interference from the outside world. One of the biggest risks of sharing too much about your romantic relationship is that it opens the door to unsolicited opinions and advice. When you discuss your relationship challenges with friends, family, or on social media, others naturally want to offer their perspectives, While they might be well-meaning, their advice often comes from their own experiences and biases, which may not align with what's best for you and your partner. What works for one couple doesn't necessarily work for another, and too many outside voices can cloud your own judgment. Instead of solving problems privately, you might find yourself confused or second-guessing your decisions based on other people's input. Keeping your relationship private allows you to trust your own instincts and your partner's without the noise of outside opinions. Additionally, when you share too much about your relationship, particularly the difficult parts, it can create long-term consequences in how others view your partner. For example, if you're going through a rough patch and confide in a close friend about your partner's flaws or the struggles you're facing, your friend might form a negative opinion of your partner even after the issue is resolved. While you and your partner may move past the argument and heal, others might hold on to the details you shared, forever viewing your partner through that negative lens. This can create tension in social situations and make it harder for those around you to accept your partner fully. By keeping your relationship's challenges private, you protect both your partner and your relationship from being judged unfairly. On the other hand, oversharing the positives of your relationship can also backfire. Constantly showcasing the highlights of your romantic life, whether through social media or regular conversation, can create an unrealistic perception of perfection. While it's natural to want to celebrate the good moments, sharing too much can unintentionally invite envy or cause others to feel inadequate in their own relationships. Moreover, putting your relationship on display might put pressure on you and your partner to maintain the facade of a perfect couple, which can be stressful and unrealistic. Keeping the good moments private allows you and your partner to savor them without the need for external validation, making the relationship feel more genuine and grounded. Another crucial reason to maintain privacy in your romantic life is that it fosters intimacy. A strong relationship is built on trust and emotional safety, and that comes from knowing that the bond you share is just between the two of you. When you make your private moments public, you dilute that intimacy. By keeping certain aspects of your relationship private, you create a safe space where both you and your partner can be vulnerable, knowing that it won't be exposed to the world. This deepens your connection and allows your relationship to grow stronger without the pressure of outside scrutiny. In conclusion, keeping your romantic relationship private isn't about secrecy, it's about protection. It's about ensuring that your bond with your partner remains sacred, untouched by the opinions and judgments of others. By maintaining privacy, you allow your relationship to evolve on its own terms, fostering trust, intimacy, and genuine growth. This approach shields both you and your partner from unnecessary outside influences, allowing you to focus on what truly matters, the connection you're building together. 5. Don't share your acts of kindness. One of the most subtle yet important secrets you should keep to yourself is your acts of kindness. In today's world, where good deeds are often broadcasted for validation or praise, there's immense power in doing something good without telling anyone. When you share your acts of kindness with others, even with the best of intentions, the purity of the gesture can become diluted. It shifts the focus from the act itself to how others perceive it. True kindness doesn't seek recognition. It thrives in the quiet knowledge that you've made a difference, even if no one else ever knows. Sharing your good deeds can sometimes lead to the perception that you're seeking attention or validation. While people may appreciate your kindness, they might also start questioning your motives, wondering if the act was genuine or simply a way to gain approval or admiration. By keeping your acts of kindness private, you eliminate any potential for misunderstanding or judgment. You show that your kindness is not contingent upon recognition or praise, but stems from a deep, authentic place. This quiet humility is powerful, and leaves a more lasting impression than a publicized good deed ever could. When you don't share your acts of kindness, you also remove the risk of comparison. In a culture where achievements and good deeds are often put on display, people may feel the need to compare their own contributions to yours. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy or competition, which distorts the spirit of giving. True kindness isn't about who does the most good. It's about the impact your actions have on the lives of others, no matter how small. When you keep your kindness private, you allow the act to stand on its own, unmeasured and pure, without causing anyone to feel less or pressured to match it. Furthermore, not sharing your acts of kindness allows you to stay focused on the true purpose of the gesture, helping others. When kindness is done for recognition, the focus shifts from the person in need to the one offering help. But when you give silently, the impact remains centered on the recipient and the difference you've made in their life. This form of giving is far more meaningful because it prioritizes the person you're helping rather than your own reputation or ego. The true reward lies in knowing you've done something good without the need for external validation. Keeping your good deeds to yourself also fosters a deeper sense of personal fulfillment. There's something profoundly satisfying about doing something kind, knowing it's just between you and the person you helped. You create a quiet, internal sense of joy that doesn't rely on likes, comments, or approval from others. This inner satisfaction is far more sustainable and enriching than the fleeting praise you might receive from sharing your actions publicly. By keeping your kindness private, you nurture a deeper connection with your values, which in turn strengthens your sense of self-worth. Moreover, acts of kindness that are kept private can inspire others in unexpected ways. When people notice your consistent humility and generosity, even without you speaking about it, they may be more inclined to reflect on their own actions and strive to do good in their own lives. Silent kindness creates a ripple effect where the impact of your actions spreads quietly but powerfully. People may never know the full extent of what you've done, but they'll feel the influence of your character and be inspired by your quiet example. In the end, not sharing your acts of kindness is about preserving the purity of your intentions and focusing on the impact rather than the recognition. It allows you to give freely, without the distractions of praise or judgment. By keeping your kindness to yourself, you cultivate a deeper sense of fulfillment, inspire others through your actions, and maintain the integrity of your giving spirit. True kindness doesn't need to be seen to make a difference. It just needs to be felt. 6. Keep your fears to yourself. Another secret that should remain private is your fears. While it can be natural to want to share your anxieties and concerns with others, especially with those close to you, there's a significant advantage in keeping certain fears to yourself. Your fears, if disclosed openly, can make you vulnerable, not just emotionally, but strategically in life's many arenas, such as in relationships at work or even in social settings. When people know what you're afraid of, whether it's failure, rejection, or criticism, they may consciously or unconsciously use that information against you, or worse, you might unintentionally give them power over your emotional state. By keeping your fears private, you maintain control over your life, protecting your mental strength and resilience. One reason it's important to guard your fears is that people, even well-meaning ones, often respond to vulnerability in unpredictable ways. Sharing your fears can invite unhelpful comments or advice that reinforces your anxieties rather than alleviating them. For instance, if you confess a fear of public speaking, you might hear well-intentioned but disheartening responses like, "Yeah, it's terrifying, isn't it?" Or "I could never do that either." While these statements may be meant as empathy, they can deepen your fear by validating it. Conversely, someone might dismiss your fears, saying something like, "It's not that big of a deal," which can make you feel misunderstood or unsupported. By keeping your fears private, you protect yourself from external input that may intensify your worries instead of helping you overcome them. Additionally, fear is a deeply personal experience, and how you process it is unique to you. Sharing your fears too openly can lead to a situation where others project their own experiences or limitations onto you. Their feedback may not resonate with your reality, but it can still cloud your judgment or deepen your anxiety. By choosing to keep your fears to yourself, you preserve your mental clarity. You can work through your fears on your own terms, in your own time, without the added layer of external influences that may not be relevant or helpful. This kind of internal processing can be empowering, as it forces you to face your fears with self-reliance, which builds your confidence and emotional strength. Another key reason to keep your fears private is that fear, when shared, can be seen as a weakness by others, especially in competitive environments like work or professional relationships. Even if you share your fears with trusted colleagues, it can subtly change the dynamics of how they view your capabilities. In some cases, individuals may inadvertently undermine your confidence because they associate you with the fears you've disclosed. In the worst-case scenario, someone may exploit that information consciously or unconsciously by putting you in situations that challenge your fears, or by manipulating you based on them. Keeping your fears private ensures that you retain control over your narrative and how others perceive your strengths. Lastly, keeping your fears to yourself doesn't mean you ignore them. On the contrary, it means you give yourself the space to work through them independently. Facing your fears quietly allows you to cultivate courage from within, without the distraction of external opinions or judgments. Overcoming fear is a deeply personal process, and the victory is all the more satisfying when it comes from self-driven growth. When you conquer your fears privately, you not only strengthen your character, but also maintain an image of quiet resilience to the world. People won't know the struggles you've faced, but they will notice your strength and self-possession, which makes you all the more respected and admired. In summary, keeping your fears to yourself is a way of protecting your mental fortitude and emotional independence. It shields you from unnecessary judgments, helps you process your fears on your own terms, and ensures that others can't use your vulnerabilities against you. By mastering your fears in silence, you build inner strength and resilience that will serve you well in every area of life. 7. Keep your long-term ambitions private. The seventh secret you should never share too freely is your long-term ambitions. While it might feel exciting to share your grand plans for the future, doing so can often invite unnecessary pressure, judgment, or even sabotage. Keeping your ambitions private allows you to focus on your goals with clarity and determination, without being influenced by external opinions or expectations. When you reveal your long-term aspirations too early, you open the door for doubt, unsolicited advice, and even competition from others who may not have your best interests at heart. By keeping these plans close to your chest, you protect both your vision and your momentum. One of the main reasons to guard your ambitions is that revealing them prematurely can lead to judgment or discouragement. People often project their own limitations and fears onto others. If your ambitions seem too grand or unconventional, some individuals may respond with skepticism, telling you that your goals are unrealistic or unattainable. While these remarks may come from a place of concern, they can plant seeds of doubt in your mind, causing you to second-guess your plans. In contrast, when you keep your ambitions private, you preserve your confidence and focus. You can pursue your goals without the weight of other people's fears dragging you down. Another risk of sharing your long-term ambitions too openly is that it can create pressure to succeed in the eyes of others. Once you've publicly declared your goals, people start to expect results, and you may feel the need to prove yourself. This pressure can add unnecessary stress, making you more anxious about the outcome than about the process of working toward your goals. By keeping your ambitions private, you free yourself from external expectations and allow yourself to focus on progress rather than perfection. This private pursuit of your dreams enables you to experiment, make mistakes, and refine your plans without the fear of public failure. Additionally, when your ambitions are shared too widely, they can become targets for competition or sabotage. Some people may see your goals as a threat, especially if your success could outshine their own. While not everyone is malicious, in competitive environments, certain individuals may try to undermine your efforts to protect their own interests. They might downplay your ideas, offer misleading advice, or attempt to steer you off course. By keeping your long-term ambitions to yourself, you shield them from potential interference, allowing you to navigate your path without external obstacles. Moreover, the journey to achieving long-term ambitions is often long and filled with challenges. Sharing your ambitions too early can set you up for disappointment if things don't go as planned. When you encounter setbacks, the knowledge that others are watching and waiting for you to succeed can make the experience more stressful and disheartening. In contrast, when you work quietly toward your goals, you're able to handle failures and course corrections with more grace. You're not performing for an audience, you're evolving for yourself. This quiet perseverance not only strengthens your resolve, but also makes the eventual achievement of your ambitions all the more satisfying. Finally, keeping your long-term ambitions private allows you to surprise others with your success. When you achieve your goals without broadcasting them beforehand, the impact is far more powerful. Instead of explaining what you plan to do, you let your actions speak for themselves. This creates a sense of awe and respect from those around you as they witness the results of your hard work without being privy to the challenges you faced along the way. It's a demonstration of quiet strength and resilience that makes your accomplishments even more meaningful. In summary, keeping your long-term ambitions private is a powerful way to protect your vision, maintain focus, and avoid external pressures. It allows you to pursue your goals with clarity and confidence, free from judgment, competition, or the need for validation. When you finally achieve your ambitions, the impact will be undeniable, and you will have done it on your own terms, with the strength that comes from within. Remember the question we started with: how can silence be your greatest strength? Now you stand at the crossroads of that answer. It's not about holding back or being passive, but about mastering the art of restraint, choosing your moments, and moving with intention. You've journeyed through the lessons, seen the power in withholding what doesn't need to be shared, and now the real question is, what will you do with this wisdom? The power to live a life of purpose, to be missed for the right reasons, and to master your inner world is now in your hands. Don't let this moment slip by without taking action. What is the next secret you'll protect? What's the first step you'll take toward living more intentionally? The world won't change until you change. So what will you do with the silence you've learned to embrace? As you finish this video, ask yourself, are you ready to live a life where your words and actions align, where your silence speaks volumes? And more importantly, are you willing to apply these lessons to master your own mind? Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's the most surprising thing you've learned today? And here's a question you might find hard to answer. What's the one secret you'll choose to protect from now on? Leave your answer in the comments below, and if you're ready to continue this journey of mastery, like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next step of your transformation. The journey doesn't end here, it's just beginning. Keep walking the path,